Let's see if we put my microphone. Let's see if we put my microphone. That's a crazy picture. Oh. Don't mind my blanket. I'm just keeping the cold air out. Kinda. Yeah, nice cool day here in the Smoky. Are we live in it? Come on, let's go outside. Come on. Let's see. I don't know why every time I do this on my every time I do, oh, there we go. For some reason on my tablet it likes to pause. Hello, Jan. All right, so nothing too exciting. It is freezing outside, and I've done nothing paperwork all morning, getting ready for taxes, and replying to a ton of comments. So, super grateful. The last video I put out on Facebook is taking off, and we've had a bunch of inquiries and a bunch of other things going on. But I want to stop in here and just say, hey, have you got a first aid kit? Yeah, we got a few of them. Serious question: if you lost a bunch of weight, you know, it's funny. So back in my younger days, I was in a little bit different shape, and everybody be like, "Fat Bob, you're not fat." I'm like, "Yeah, it's an old nickname from a long time ago." Well, it's gotten it's come back, Dusty. It's come back, so I know I've kind of been on a little bit of a diet this year, as everybody does. And so I know when I need to go on a diet is when I'm like, oh, I'm Fat Bob. And everybody's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So that doesn't hurt my feelings. I actually like the name. I appreciate it. Not even a cool story other than I was fat back in the day. Got real skinny. And was feeling good. And then honestly, the older that I've gotten, in the wintertime, I'd always gain weight. Summertime, it'd always fall off real quick. The older that I've gotten, it just doesn't go away. And so, in my defense, I mean, it's a real poofy jacket. You know what I mean? Although it's not that poofy. But yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Man, I would take a fat nugget over a skinny nugget any day. Hey, I understand. I understand. I honestly so I'm getting ready to start 3 more foam trees. If you've watched any of this in the last couple weeks, we've had a bunch of cool projects. One being a big commercial project we've been working on, and we're using EPS foam to create these trees, bears, and other carvings. So I bought this tool amongst all the other tools, and I thought I was gonna have to put it all together. So I was like, oh, I'll just do an unboxing of this real quick. Take a break from the computer. That's all I've been doing all day. And turns out everything's already together. So not even a super exciting video. But I always like to get on here and just chit chat and say hello, and introduce myself. We've had a lot of growth social media wise. Recently, as I've gotten back onto it, I kind of took a break there for a couple years. And wintertime is always an easier time for me to spend some time doing this stuff. As during our busy season here in about a month, it'll change. So these are bow cutters, and seems pretty straightforward. One's a 4 foot, one's a 2 foot. And there we got this thing wired up. Sweet. I don't remember which one I ordered. So some of them are like you put together and you can create a 2 foot or a 4 foot. So that's gonna be really nice because I gotta trim down these big EPS foam blocks, and I have a really nice hasn't seen 4 foot. It was not 4 foot. It's 2.5 feet. What was this one? 16 inches. Yep. I lied to you guys. Anyway, well, we'll end up using this hopefully amongst the other tools that we have. Like I said, I got a free-forming hot wire kit that I bought from, actually, I think it's Hot Wire or Foam Co. or something. I don't remember the name of it, but super nice. But it's difficult to do one-handed. Nice even cuts. So I think I could take this, just run it through, and do all that. This is yeah. So look, video's over. No, I'm just kidding. Let's make a fresh pot of coffee though. And I'm in my office / shed, and so I put that blanket up just to help with keep the cold air out. Because Tennessee is blessed with so many different weather. That last week it was beautiful and warm, 70s. And this week is not. I'm just trying to get back used to the cold weather again. So I've been working all day on the computers. I was ready for a break. Ready for a break. And Mondays are always a little weird for me. Not always a little weird, but just always doing a bunch of emailing. I like burritos. I like burritos too, buddy. Let's see if I can... Where are you guys from? Let's make a little small pot. Man, I was like, I really genuinely was like, oh, I'll put these together. You know, because I have like some PVC ones that I've made, and and I was like, oh, this be fun, a little chit chatting, but we got it done. So was gonna do a little carving today, but it's honestly 3:30, and I've been freezing all day. So we're gonna make some coffee and straighten up a little bit. Secret Harvest. Cool. Yeah, I wasn't big on YouTube for a while. Been more on Facebook for a long time, and just recently getting back into the social media side of things. So I got a little system now that I've been doing that's helped a lot. I spend mornings on the computer. I'm usually up by 3 o'clock anyway. 3 to 4. And yeah. I should have checked that box. I should have checked that box. That's so funny to me. Because I got it last week, and I was like, oh, I'll just hop on. Like I said, when I get the stuff. So I guess we'll just do a little Q&A if you got any carving questions or project. We can hang out. We can talk. Talk about how fat I am now. What else do I have? What else? Oh, we do have fresh hats available. So I brought in a small line for this winter. We have our OG green hat available. This is a chocolate chip and birch with the logo, leather patch, which are super popular, but these are all hand sewn on there with the logo on it. We have a brown and khaki. And these are real leather. Richardson 112 hats, which in my opinion are the best hats out, best fitting. I have a black and gray. Super clean. And we also have a charcoal and black, which is honestly, I haven't done the charcoal before, but it's probably my favorite one so far. So we got those available, and if you act now, they're $30 plus tax. It's free shipping available. I think tax is like $2.95, $32.95. fresh sticker too. So I'm working on bringing in some more merch, some shirts again. Let's see. Get real close here. Yeah, I definitely am Fat Bob right now. There we go. You can look at my messy desk. So it is definitely a computer day. Alexa, what's the weather tonight?
Tonight will be partly cloudy and cold, with temperatures between 23 and 33 degrees.
23 degrees tonight. I got one of those, excuse me. One of those colds just creep down to your bones. Oh. Needed that. I haven't had any hats in a while. These stickers are super nice. All right, Casey's. I'm ready for sponsorship now. You're my favorite gas station. I got my green Casey's cup with the logo on it. Feeling fresh. Excuse me. So we do have some projects and some designs working on. I guess we'll go over that. This is a future project for us. It'll come on there. It's Archangel Gabriel. So the cool thing about this is there's going to be a hook and it goes to Hotel New York. So, give me a little closer up video of that. So that's definitely going to be a challenging one. That's going to be a challenging one. Especially with all the flowy robes. And everything. All right, we have another sketch to do. For the mountain coaster we've been working on. Yeah, we'll do this. Ooh. Ooh. So this is an area. You see the mountain coaster on the top. We need to create a scene here. So I have a 1963 F350. Take a picture of that we're going to use. Possibly. I hope the ad serves. I'm going to take a picture of it real quick. No, this microphone's going to reach all the way out here. Whew. All right, so I got a couple trucks to work with. So this is what we're going to do. Let's flip this around. Can we do that? Can I do that? Some yellow. Hey, good job. All right, so let's do this. Let's do brush. We're just gonna create a big one. I'm not a good drawer. So I use this as a template. Once we get done with this, we'll convert it over to the other scene. My only worry with the other truck is that a little too big for that area. What I'm wanting to create is um, kind of a cool interactive piece. So what I want to do is take our picture here. What up, Buff Bob? Yeah, I don't know about that, but thank you. If you had to pick one or the other, which is with so I get a flat tire. Huh. Oh, let me see what it says on here. For some reason, it gets lost in the TV there. If you had to pick one or the other, gone forever, you keep McDonald's or Burger King. I don't eat either one of them. I definitely don't eat McDonald's. I guess the BK Lounge, but it's I don't eat fast food. Surprisingly, I know. I don't like it. Can we add a folder? Let's delete a folder. What can we do here? Add a folder. How do I do that? Let's delete a folder. I guess I'll have to save it. Huh? What are you keeping? Oh, red meat all day, dude. That's what I had last night for dinner. Big old T-bone, baked potato. I ate tuna in a can, and that's about it. McDonald's just for the morning muffins. Yeah, I'll say, and I haven't had them in a long time. But what is those things? Uh, McGriddles. I got like that. I like a sweet and salty kind of thing. Favorite land meat top three. Land meat. That's a weird way to put it. Never heard that before. Land meat. I like a good koala. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I don't know. Cow. I got steak. I like brats. That's really about it. Burger, steaks. I don't know. What's your top three land meat? I appreciate the questions. I just never heard anybody say that before. All right, how do I get rid of this background? I want this. Right here. Okay. Let's move this over just a hair. Let's give this thing some color. I go bear. Venison. Yeah, I tried bear once. It is. I had a bear rib that wasn't my favorite thing I'd ever had. But yeah, I do love some venison. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about my dinner last night. Let's see. Where are you from? I had bear once too. It was perfectly cooked. I did not. It was probably cooked good, but well, let me take this. Hold on. Fatbobs Wood Co. It's Bob. Hey. Hey, doing good. How are you doing? Yeah. Recently? I was just over that way a couple days ago. I was gonna stop in and say hey to her, but I didn't. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Is she doing okay? Yeah. Kind of how we all do it, right? Well, I will. You said it was on the 3rd. Well, maybe I'll reach out to her. Yeah. Yeah, definitely will. Definitely will. Of course. Thanks for letting me know. Bye. Oh. Well, upstate New York. The bear meat I ate tasted like a mix between a fatty, juicy pulled pork and a nice black English. Mine did not. So that sounds delicious, but mine didn't. Mine tasted just super greasy as a rib. So I don't know if that's any different or not, but um, I did not care for it whatsoever. Excuse me. All right, so I'm looking at the colors of their logo. Let's see if we can. So that's their logo there. There's a reds and some blues. So I think the truck should carry. I don't know if red would look good. Maybe that blue. Maybe that blue would be good on there. Of course, sanded and all that stuff. So maybe a little rustic blue. My favorite chainsaw carving I've ever made. Um, to be honest with you, I don't really like anything I make. And I say that in a weird way because I don't want to say I don't like anything I make. I'm never fully satisfied with anything I make. My favorite one? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know because it'd be more the people that go with the piece, if that makes any sense. And I met like some really amazing people over the years. Um, that would make a piece feel 10 times more special. If that makes any sense. And that's hard. Because I've been carving for just over 20 years now. But full-time over 10 years now. Probably full-time now 13, 14 years. Maybe 10 years. Anyway, so I made a lot of pieces. There's a lot of really nice people in the beginning too. So man, I've just met some really incredible people that have just trusted me and gave me like artistic freedom. We've had really big cabin projects that we've done that, we did like 6 custom vanities and live edge shelving, and did like a 3D mural wall with LED lighting and a bar top, and like just this really cool thing there. Carving wise, man, I don't know. I just really think about that. It's a loaded question, but it's not a good answer other than and it's just met so many amazing people. So well, my plan was to like build this tool for this foam carving. I got to start tomorrow. I got to install this week. It's an 18-foot tree, so maybe we'll go out there and kind of get prepped for it. I got to move a locker in there. It's my plan. I was like, oh, this should take me, 10, 15, 20 minutes, but everything was already put together, so I didn't have to do anything. I've been I have a truck already. Been a little cold today, so I've been I did a recent video, and it's on YouTube, but like mainly all my stuff's on Facebook. We're getting there, and so I replied to like 200 comments this morning, and emails and inquiries and drafting and there's all kinds of stuff. So it's 4 o'clock now. It's gonna be the warmest part of the day. This is a project I've been working on that we have to get done, but phase 2 is coming up. So I'm working on creating a let's see. Let's see if we can see it. I'm gonna put a big piece here, and this is one of the driveways here going up, and so the left side is just kind of this dead space in here. So we're gonna take a truck. It's called Moonshine Mountain Coaster, so the theme is moonshining. So we're gonna take a truck. There's a big hole, big hole right here. So we're gonna have to build a little something here to put the truck on to face it this way. And what I want to do is create bears making moonshine. So I have some bears on the back side of it, front side, carrying sugar, carrying corn. And then I do want to add a water feature to it. So where that is, and there is there's enough of a void right there that I think if I can get just a recirculating pump like where the bears are pouring out the moonshine jugs and into jugs, we can create a water feature that way, which I think would be really cool. So I'm just trying to sketch that out, and I think it'll give a nice interactive kind of display there. Give that little section of purpose. I will show you the other pieces that we were working on over there. So this is all made out of foam. So this is EPS foam. That's there in the railing there. This is one of the trees that is covering the post of the track. So this one's 8 foot tall. And I should have made his face pointed down a little bit more, but I didn't. So a little side view there. More bears, more bears, more bears. Little raccoon up there. This is a mama bear. They dressed up for Christmas. This is the papa bear. There's a little lantern down there. Little stump bear down here. This is where I glued the team together. So it's dragged on for a little while, a little too long. It was supposed to be done back in October. Obviously it's January, so maybe that's what we'll do. We'll walk out there and get prepped for that tomorrow. Oh, we got some hat orders. That's fun. And oh, here we go. Look forward to seeing it. Yeah, gotta get the ball rolling. You got this. Okay. Yeah. Man, it's just this time of year sucks. Not because of the weather, but it's state and local taxes. And, I pretty much do it all. So I got a couple guys that work for me, and but a lot of times anymore, honestly, that's why I just balance it out for the morning time on the computer. So somebody going by. It's hard to create and do this and social media. So that's why I'll just take big breaks from social media because I'm like, I gotta get these projects done. We got a ton. This is typically like an off season, but it's when the businesses come to us most, and want to start doing some other stuff. So after fresh carving, what's the best and most used sealer you use to prevent cracking? We make our own sealant. It's called Bear Shine, and it's a combination of a few different things, but the main components of it is an exterior spar varnish and a boiled linseed oil. A couple other little additives mixed in there. I'll show you it in a minute. But with that said, there's really not one thing. I mean, the wood preservatives and sealants aren't as good as they used to be. They took all the good stuff out. They're all going to crack a little bit. It's the reality. It's the beast of the nature, or nature of the beast of the nature. Just part of it. We do a warranty with everything, so we do a first repair free. With that said, typically after they acclimate, or check once. They won't do much more after that. So that's why we do the first one free. And I've had pieces. I got a piece over there that sat in my office here for over a year drying out. Still cracks. And so, if a carver tells you guaranteed not to crack, I'd walk away. There's a bunch of folklore out there, and some people do some relief cuts in the back of the carving, like they'll just cut all the way down the back side of it. I don't know. I understand the concept, but it doesn't make a difference. So you just accept it, and we'll just repair it. Like one got shipped back. Came in last week. We got it fixed up. I'll show it. And it had a pretty good size crack in it. Hold on, let me go here. Yeah. So it came all the way down through here, all the way down. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you can see a little seam right through here. So this will use wooden door shims, and then a combination of some putties. And as you can see, it just blends right in. So this is one Vander made, and he did great on the repair. If you really stare at them, you'll see it, but for the most part, it blends in. I guess we'll go outside because I'm gonna start getting that. Matthew, what's up, dude? That's our Mac one repair. Appreciate that. Yeah, Vander did that one. He did really good on it. So. Hold on, my wife texted me. So. Give me 1 second. Boom. All right. Yeah, let's go. I'll just show you around the shop. I don't know if you're on here or not. This is my office. Nothing crazy. This is where I spent a lot of time recently. So, computer, obviously all that stuff going on. A little collection. Got these little toolboxes from Harbor Freight that are great little things. So I just put all my crap in there. And yeah. And my snacks, I am Fat Bob, so I gotta have the snacks, all that stuff. These are the hats that just came in. Coffee. This is little paint area, tools, and tools. Yeah, so I have a gallery here in Sevierville, Tennessee. These are some rough outs that we've done. This should be a matter of wifey for mine. This is our shop cat. I was just thinking. One side. Oh. This thing's acting crazy now. Oh. I haven't used this thing in years. So it's not super happy at the moment. Okay, there we go. Camera looks very clear today. Did you get any set up? Man, I'll tell you what I did is there we go. I actually bought a phone just dedicated to this stuff. Dude, this thing, I can't figure it out. That's crazy. So the memory's a lot better, all that stuff. I don't have the actual app going, so but this thing's moving around on something. It's not staying still. So we're in Sevierville, Tennessee, right next to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, that whole area. And this is huge improvement, much better video. Nice, thanks, man. Yeah, before I was using my shop phone, and I just bought like a cheap phone for it. And the camera's not great, so I just bought the same like as my personal phone. It's got a good camera on it, and yeah, it's made for some better videos. So many carvings. Yeah, we got a bunch. Starting to fill up inventory, getting ready for spring. And this is so this is Eric style. So a little more folk art, a little more raw, if you will. These are some of Vander's pieces here. Eric pieces, Vander pieces. That's one I finished up a little while ago. I mainly just do custom order work, so I don't have a lot of pieces out for sale. This one I finished up not too long ago. Vander. Next door we have Bustin' Butts Barbecue, which is the best barbecue in town by far. And then that's over here. And this little section is a farmer's market. So come here in the next couple months. It's my favorite time of year because all the fresh fruits start coming in and all that stuff. So some Vander carvings. Some more Vander carvings. And we're gonna do a refreshing here pretty soon. Get the shop ready for spring. I've gutted a bunch of stuff, so there's just stuff kind of laying around everywhere right now. Oh, this thing is not happy. Come on, dude. Let me just take this thing off. This one I finished up. This is a video on it. So it's ready for some sealant. This one just finished up here. Black walnut slab. I'm just showing you everything. Some little bears. A few different styles are great. Yeah, for sure. The cool thing about it, man, is we all kind of motivate each other, right? So we all see things differently. And it's my favorite because we all just help each other so much. This piece here is interesting. Guy had this porch swing made for his wife, and they're moving. They wanted to repurpose the bench, so I just made these simple little legs to go on the bottom of it. We have some cutting boards. This is the bear shine I was telling you about. So this is what we seal everything with. And yeah, so these are coasters. This is a map where all the pieces went or have gone over the last year. Little signs here. Vander made these little guys. These are cool. Let's see. You know, these little LEDs that light up in here. Flags. This is all from a local lady. And Deb, this is all her pottery. It's handmade, about 5 miles up the road here. Our prayer request box. We have free Bibles for everybody. And yeah, this is our little gallery area. So I'm gonna kind of redo this whole thing. I got to tear these down. They're really rotted, and so I'm gonna put big barn door off the front here, just make it look like a barn. Yeah, this is a few that we had left. I've made about 100 of them. They're mostly cedar. So this is just a couple that we have left. And I'll show you where we make them. This is funny. So actually from those, get the cedar shavings, bag them up, sell these cedar smellers is what we call them. And again, we're in the midst of decluttering and working and all these things. So I'll show you around a little bit. In the next month, all this will all get cleaned out. And it's a lot better than what it was, but this is our sign making building. So I got our CNC machine in here, our laser engraver. Where's the Fat Bob fan club wall going to be? I was thinking about that. I was actually talking to my wife about that over the weekend. So I don't know yet. Because I want to build some back here. Some more. This is my old delivery box truck. But now it's just turned into a kiln. Dude, everything is so chaotic around here right now. So this was all stacked full slabs. We got wood piles out back here. I'll talk to you about it here in a second. There's some remnants of some trees. And this is our sawmill. So this thing needs some love. It's been roughed up. And make all our slabs here. Put them in the van. Dry out. This is Sharon's office when she's off for the winter time. But right now it's just a big storage. I'm gonna redo that for her when she comes back. Man, it's cold. Let me. What's your favorite and main wood to carve? Man, I carve everything. I used to be a little pickier, but honestly, like when I first started carving, it was just whatever people had. If I had to be picky, I'd say cedar is my favorite. It just smells good, works good, all that stuff's good. I need to bring those in. So the fan club. I want to see if I can turn this on again. Done what? Did this thing break? Hold on. Oh no, okay. This is a DJI Osmo. I think it's a 2. So I've had this for a while. I just started using it again, kinda. this is working out, so this doesn't really matter. The fan club. I am thinking I want to be like in the main part of the building, so I might put it to the left of the desk up there. But ultimately, I guess my goal. What's wrong with this thing? There we go. Sorry, I'm just putting this up. I'm just gonna do it, and then we'll move it later on, I guess is what I'm gonna say, because I was really wanting to kind of build. Golly. Red cedar, yeah, red cedar. It's broken. It's like, yeah. So probably the left. I want it to be a spot where everybody can see it. Ultimately, long-term goal, I'd love to build like a just a building for the podcast when we get it started back up again, and all that stuff. But maybe to the left of that American flag, or around that American flag, or not the American flag, the map. But we'll probably start that soon. And country style life. What we're doing is we're gonna do like, so Facebook or YouTube now lets me have like, I guess like super chats or whatever. I got monetized on YouTube and Facebook, which I've been monetized on Facebook for a while. But what we want to do is just have like definitely by the map somewhere. I agree. We'll walk back out there. So I think I'm gonna build those shelves out even further, kind of redesign some stuff. But yeah, we'll walk back out there. I had to sit next to this here. I'm such a pansy in the cold. Countryside, congrats. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't. This is all just fun for me. Like, now that I have like this phone dedicated just for this stuff, it makes it a lot easier. Before I was doing like my personal phone. I get calls and texts and all kinds of stuff all the time. So this one, like, I don't even know the number to it. Yeah, I just keep it on full silent mode all the time. But then everything's like uploaded. I do these live videos. This is what I've been doing recently. I'll take the live videos, edit it from YouTube, make shorter videos, make posts and all that stuff. And so that seems to be like the best way to do it, I guess. But anyway, so with like the super chats and stuff, we were talking. Matthew brought up like the Fatbobs fan club, and what I want to do is like any of the super chats or whatever. We'll have a few different sizes or a couple different sizes. Let's create like an appreciation wall, and so anybody that does it, we'll put their name and a message, and we'll limit it to, it could be small ones and a little bigger ones, and then that way, hopefully long term, what it'll do is, we can buy like better cameras, do more videos. I'll just put it right back into doing more stuff. So yeah, that's kind of an idea that I had. Because they were wanting me to do like a monthly subscription service and all that stuff. But Matthew brought up a good point. Like, one, I don't want to do a subscription because We have the business to run and all that stuff, so I don't have time to like dedicate just this. Like we have a whole storefront, obviously. But too, there's just like an expectation that comes with that, and so yeah, like Matt's brought it up. It's a good idea. I remember doing a teaching class with veterans, carving a bear. Was that you or am I imagining? No, yeah. So my buddy owns a company in Kentucky. Let's see if I can turn these off. Called Patriots Landing. How's that better? Yep, called Patriots Landing, and so that was an experience, dude. We haven't done one since. I don't know if we'll do another one like that per se. Let me throw this light on here. But yeah, we had 5 groups of 5. 5 groups of 5. And so I bought 5 chainsaws, 5 Dremels, 5 everything. Actually, I bought 6 of everything. I included my stuff and logs. And it was an hour-long block that I was like, oh, we'll just do little stump bears. Thinking that would be simple. But I didn't put into account that a couple people have never touched a chainsaw in their life, And I was like, oh, we can do one from start to finish. And we barely got through like a rough out. And I'd never been in that kind of environment or done anything like that before. So it was a lot. Man, honestly, it was like 7 hours of just nonstop. Boom, boom. Because when somebody got done, we got started to rain in the beginning. So we brought everything in and we brought everything back out. But reloading logs up and all that stuff. It was a really, really, really amazing experience, and I got to meet some super incredible people, and a couple of them have like carved a little bit after that. But it was fun. We had a good time. We did talk about. I've been up there a couple times. We talked about doing something similar again, but maybe a lot more simple. I was a little too ambitious with thinking that, because in my head I was like, oh, an hour is plenty of time just to do a stump bear, So we want to do something else, and it might be like all the rough outs are done, and then we just use like some hand tools to finish or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. Yeah, it was cool. 1 hour for new people to saws. Yeah, dude, definitely need it all day long. It was a little rough. And one guy went through like 3 chainsaws because the chains kept popping off, and it was like I said, it was a learning experience for sure. So I'm grateful for it. If I had to do it differently, much smaller groups. 5 doesn't seem like a lot of people, but I'm carving. I'm trying to watch their carves, and maybe would have done a little more talking before we got right into it. And so, but I think like with the chainsaw stuff, maybe like 2 people at a time, you know, um, especially people that haven't touched a chainsaw before. 3 people max, yeah, yeah. And 5 doesn't seem like a lot, but you got one guy that's never turned on a chainsaw, and you got another guy that's been carving or not carving, cutting firewood his whole life. So it was an experience, And maybe we could have like divvied it up into like I guess experiences. And so, but yeah, that was a while ago. They're doing a big shindig this August or September, so we'll be up there for that. And we have some stuff in the works that we've been talking about for a while now. because he's a nonprofit, right? So they take veterans and teach them woodworking, and they do like crosses and flags, and then a bunch of different projects. But we might be doing a little bit of collaboration on some things in the future. So, but yeah, we'll be back on the phone tomorrow. How did what's your show this last weekend, Matt? Or is it coming up? If so, how did it go? And I think last time I was on here, you're finishing up some pieces. Sorry, I'm texting my wife. Well, I'm not a vet, but I'll drive down Tennessee to car with Bear. Dude, come on, anytime, bro. I'd love to meet you. I'm not the best builder. I learn how to build shops like you. Oh, dude, I'm not a builder. You know what? My buddies are builders, and thankfully for them, um, like these little buildings we built, my buddy Kevin, man, just came in super clutch, and it taught me a lot because we built these pretty much like a house, and although we did widen the studs just a hair, um, these things are solid, dude. But there's so many little things that I have an understanding of like jacks and kings and openings and this and that, like. But there's so many little things like pulling from one. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, very lucky. Uh, really. Uh, yep. Not that. Married with a wife, so that's cool. Appreciate that. Um, Two people match your size. But thanks for the comment. It all helps out. Yeah, man. Anytime you want to come down, you just let me know. I do have little lofts built in these, so if you want a place to crash, or I got friends that have cabins that we can get you set up. So, oh, what do you do for work there? Country style life, or what are you into? I really need to get back out there and start getting that set up for tomorrow. I'm an arborist. I got hired doing tree work. Oh, you just start carving? Oh, dude, that's awesome. I had a few kickbacks, and then lucky. That's when I first started. I know tree work and just I had a few kickbacks. That's when I first started. When you say kickback, like kickback to the saw? Come on, bro. You got me there. Creative, whatever. You got me, dude. you have the kickbacks when you were cutting tree work, or while you were carving? I basically taught myself. Man, that's so. When I started carving, I call him my uncle. Tree work, yeah. I've had a few close calls that I've like sat and like just prayed. It's like, oh, that almost sucked. But I never did tree work. I got a whole different story on that for a reason why I don't. But yeah, dude, it doesn't like you can have somebody show you carving. Like if you came to the shop, I could like show you kind of cut for cut what I do, but your perception is going to be completely different than mine, right? And you're not going to like it all comes in stages and things will click along the way. So like the pieces now are completely different from the pieces 6 months ago. Um, and the pieces are 6 months ago are completely different. And I'm just using 6 months as a reference. But like that last bear I did, I feel like the eyes finally kind of came together the closest that I've wanted them to be. But I've been working on that for like a year. Off and on, you know what I mean? Like I'm not just like dedicating a night and I could be. Um but throughout pieces I would try new things. A lot of times it doesn't work, but uh a few cool sauce when I took the record off. Yeah, man. I understand. I understand. I'm glad you're all right. But at least you're getting into carving, so that's cool. Fucking need something if I see it and decent at carving. That's cool, dude. That's what I tell everybody. Like, just do it. Just get into it. Like the kind of the double edged sword of where we're at right now. Like I've owned my business now 8 years, going on next month, and really in the last year, it's like established. Seems like Um, but I'll say like it's a blessing, and I'm not going to complain at all. And I don't want it to sound that way whatsoever because I'm so grateful for everything. I mean, it was a lot easier back then. You know what I mean? And so some days it's like really overwhelming. And you got it. So many people reaching out, and everybody wants like your most creative side instantly. Um, and you got projects that need a lot of attention. And you got projects. It's got projects. That's what I tell everybody. Like, just people that I meet here are like, "Oh, I'd love to do it," and I'm like, "Just start doing it." Like, if you're going out back, like, make firewood, but have fun making it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no pressure of, "Hey, this has got to be done on Tuesday. We got to do an install this week. I got to do delivery. I got to do repair." You know what I mean? Like, enjoy it. Like when I'm on a chainsaw, like that is my therapy. That is my peace. Um, it's 20 minutes to myself, and I, spend time with God, and I'm able to like process things and like um, just really disappear from the world. Like that is my favorite time. Um, all the other stuff I do, so I can do those things. You know what I mean? But it's amazing. Proud of you. I appreciate that, dude. That's super cool. That's super cool. Well, that's how I got into these other projects. That's how like I got in these film projects. It's kind of the same thing. Like that started with they wanted like 5 carvings out of wood. And we got to talking. I'm like, oh yeah, we can do foam, this, that. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah. Dude, I'm leaving. Like, what's the process of carving foam? Which I've done like a little bit before, but not to this extent. And the carving part's nothing. It's just the finishing work that I was trying to find what I wanted. And so I finally found it out of a company in Wisconsin. So um yeah, do you have a Facebook page there? Or do you carve for people or for yourself, or what do you what are you carving? I have walked this dude. There we go. Oh, let me check it out. Is it under, I would assume, country style love? Is that all right? Do you mind if I check it out? Let's do that for chat. Let me. I don't think that's you. Let me see how. Yeah. Country style life. Oh, there we go. Sweet. I'll subscribe to you. Yeah, anytime you're down here, dude, I'd love to come hang out, come carve. Let's see. Do you do more on Rumble or do you more on YouTube? I just subscribe to you. Is that you fighting MMA, bro? I see ya. I used to do some competitions back in the day in the Army. My uncle, of the many things that he did was a hand-to-hand combat instructor for the Marine Corps. So I grew up sparring and wrestling. My dad as well. Like they're both snipers. So when I left for the Army and we got into like the basics, they thought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got into the basics of it. I was like, oh, dude, I was whooping ass. You know what I mean? But I got so humbled so quickly. So I haven't done it in a long time. That's cool, dude. My first dog. How did you like that? Oh, thanks, brother. How'd you like doing the dog? It's honestly one of my least favorite carvings. That's so cool, dude. What kind of wood do you guys use up there? That looks like an oak. Those like straight on carved on the log. It exploded. I have to fix it. Yeah, I understand. The straight on carving. Oh, dude, look at all that firewood you got out back too. Man, and beef jerky. Check you out, bro. Other than the snow, it looks awesome up there. So anytime I've ever met anybody from New York, they always specify upstate New York because it's everybody just assumes the city, I guess. But I mean, where y'all are at, it's pretty country up there. Dude, you got it set up. Little BLT, some carbon in the background. That's dope. How long you been carving now? What saw is that? 450? 550? Dude, I'm glad you're carving. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I'm just watching your videos while you're watching my videos for about a year. Man, that's fun. That's fun, dude. I started when I was 15. I'll be 36 this year. And dude, honestly, it is so much fun because the pieces are just always evolving. I look forward to watching all your videos. I appreciate that, bro. I did like a few years ago, like a part 1 of understanding the process. Oh, we're the same age, pretty much. So I did like it on paper, drew everything down on paper, and I was like, oh, I'll do a part 2. And dude, that was like 4 years ago now, and somebody commented recently because I was like in the beginning, I was really heavy on YouTube, and then I just like took a break for, man, honestly, like a year or two, just because it was like so much growth that it was so hard for me to maintain. Like I said, right now it's easy because like people stopping by. It's wintertime, dude. It's our slowest. January this time, middle to end of January to the end of February is like slow with people, so I can actually spend time and do this. So I'm gonna dedicate some more time to doing some. Well, you finished part 2? No kidding. Yeah. Oh, have you? Yeah, I gotta do part 2, man. Because somebody commented. I'll have to find it, but it wasn't that long ago, and it was like, dude, where's part 2? Yo, bro, where you from? I'm from East Tennessee, God's country over here in Sevierville, um, in the Smoky Mountains next to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. I'm from Pakistan. Welcome from Pakistan, dude. Man, you're inspirational, dude. Love you too, man. Um, you have so many carvings. You came so far in life. I'll be honest with you, dude. It's all God. Um, man, I was a degenerate. Um, like the rest of us, you know what I mean? Like I was on a path that probably wasn't the best, and carving saved my life, and then was able to was put in a position that ah, I don't know. It took a lot for God to get my attention too, man. You know what I mean? So I was in a spot where I didn't want to be here anymore, and was just constantly disappointed in people and all these things, dude. It's a whole story, and it's honestly part of my testimony. But I was ready to go, and I told God out of spite. I gave him an ultimatum. I was like, bro, like, because I studied Buddhism, I studied Catholicism, I studied quantum physics, I studied everything for years, dude. I was always searching, 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 and but the only thing I never did was give God a chance. And so I was like, just sitting there one day, staring at that gun, ready to go, and I just had this overwhelming sense of, just like a prayer. And I said, okay. I told God, I was like, I'll give you one shot. I'll give you one opportunity. Um, if things don't change, then I'm done. And I said I tried it my way my whole life. I was 29 at the time. And dude, let me tell you, that was the greatest gift ever. Um, man, it's just been, I could talk all day about how my life has changed, and the experiences that I've had just spiritually and emotionally and physically, and the more things that um, I've grown through to be able to give it all to him and feel his presence, man. I'll start crying here in a minute. Um, it's amazing, dude. So it's all God. It's all God, and I'd be happy to go tell you um, a lot more about it. Do I speak other languages? I speak Appalachian. uh, to some, that could be other languages. You know what I mean? Have you studied about Islam? Yeah. Yep. But I don't want to get into all that, brother. I ain't here to argue about nothing with nobody. I love everybody. Uh, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and that'll never change. Dude, that is so similar to me, bro. Crazy, super cool. Not that I'm glad. You know, I was over a female too, man. But what had happened with that too is, man, I had somebody give me advice one time that said it sucks, but make it suck as much as possible and just get it over with. I said okay, and I did. And so like I quit drinking, I quit filling voids, I quit going out, and I just hyper focused on myself and learning who I really was, spending time with God, learning who He was, and yeah, dude, it's amazing. You want to see me rip out a bear carving? Oh, for sure. Maybe not today, bro. Maybe not today. I've been wanting to all day, but I'll get on here this week. I'm 6 years sober from. No, so cool, brother. So cool. Yeah, I don't drink. Smoke a lot of cigarettes. Eat too much food. Really put the fat in Fatbob now. But this year I decided just like everybody else. I'm like, all right. Get my health, get my mind right, my body right, and I just want to use that to be a soldier for God. So I've had some wild experiences over the last 6 months that are probably hard for some people to understand, and I just say that because I've explained it to a handful of people, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But I just want to be good for God. Oh, I don't care what people think, bro. I don't care at all. I mean, I'm a people pleaser at heart. I want everybody to love and be happy. Um, this whole business is God's. Like, we're just here to plant seeds, use us wherever He needs. Like, and I've had a shift recently because I was talking to a buddy of mine in North Carolina the other day, and he was talking to a buddy of his, and they were talking about putting God in your business, right? And that was something like I struggled with a while ago, because I always had like this negative connotation with the business. Oh, business. It's, at the root of it could be like just focus on money and numbers and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And so, I mean, that transitioned pretty quickly into into praying over the business for sure, which I've always done. But since last week, talking to my buddy, it was, this is God's business. And now we're praying, God, what can I do today to manage your business? Like, give me the wisdom, the sight to see things the way you see them, to hear things the way when you talk. Let my feet be your feet and just walk with me. And what can I do? It's all yours anyway. Just help me steward these blessings. And I get wrapped up sometimes. I get off that track, and he'll humble me pretty quick. So, um, yeah, dude, I'll talk all day about it. It's fantastic. I'm happy for you, bro. Genuinely. Um, how do you build? Like, how long have you been building? Uh, dude, I don't really build. Um, I'll take on some projects um, that are simple. If not, I'll give them to a buddy of mine that does building. But I was always in some kind of sales job when I got out, and whether that was I sold motorcycles for years. Um, I did timeshare at one point. Um, I did leather repair work. I had a lot of jobs. Bartender. I was a bartender for a long time. So I've always had some kind of some kind of sales job, I guess. Um, and like, but I always carved on the backside. Um, you've been given a gift to use. Yeah, man. That's I. I'll tell you I had a weird dilemma this morning. So I did post a video on Facebook. That we were actually talking about this in Bible study last night. My brother-in-law. You know, it's growing. It's got like over 50,000 views and just a ton of compliments. And I don't do well with that. But even in that moment over the weekend, I was like, oh, this thing, like, this is taking off. This is super cool. So like the ego part of me was like, you know, oh, how many views are we at now? How many views are we at now? And I'm like refreshing it throughout the day. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. And I was like, wow, because over that piece, I've been praying over the pieces before I even start them. And man, I just felt like the flesh and the ego trying to like take the credit away. So it was weird this morning because there's a ton of comments that were like, "Oh, you're this, you're that." I'm like, I ain't nothing. The only good for me is from God, And so I had to kind of sit and think about it for a minute because I was, thank you, thank you, thank you, appreciate it, thank you, thank you, thank you. 'Cause I don't do well with praise like that. Um, see the leather on the hats, but it is a gift. See the leather on the hats. Did you order them like that or make them? No, I didn't make them. I ordered them. It's actually a company in Tennessee, just a couple hours away that I found, and I was gonna make them, but I don't have time to do it. And honestly, like they do such a great job. Um, and so this is one from last year, I guess. I didn't bring this color back in, which I love this color. We didn't sell a bunch of them, so I just did some real neutral colors. And oh, my light died. There we go. But yeah, they make them. They're professional. The only reason I was gonna make them is because I got frustrated that I couldn't get anybody around here directly to make them. Joe Marler. Who's Joe Marler? Let's check that out. It's probably not good. Oh, rugby player. All right, dude. I'll take that. I was expecting something way worse. So that's cool. Yeah, appreciate that. Buff Bob. Such a wholesome person. Buff Bob. Dude. Where can I buy one? I will let you know, bro. I'll do something for you. So look at all the colors. They look awesome. So, Matthew, I'd love to send you one, and I'll send you one too. I don't know your name, Country Style Life. Um, I'd like to send you guys both ones. That's okay. On me. I'll just ship them out to you guys. Uh, Matthew, I appreciate you always being on here doing that with me. Um, Country Style Life, dude. I'd love to send you one. I got some new stickers in too, and I'll send you a little box or something if that's all right. But if I don't know, is my email on here on the face or on YouTube? More link. Yeah, dude, just email me or message me on Facebook. On the if you go on the main page and it says fatbobswoodco.com or facebook.com, if you hit like one more link, Under more info, it'll say view email address. So you can either like Facebook it, just send me your address if you don't care. And then yeah, your address or whatever, and I'll get it sent out to you. And yeah, for sure, dude. I appreciate you. And Matthew too, bro. Like, man, I remember you've been hanging out with me for a while now. So let me know what color too. I have a couple. Let's see if this light is. This light is bright, dude. So what we have now, we got the OG. That camera is. Hold on. I'm using the front-facing camera, so it sounds good. I got the OG green. This is our. Been keeping these solid. I got two browns, and they're really similar. But this is a brown and khaki. I didn't realize how close they were. This is called chocolate chip and birch. So this is I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a little different brown. The chocolate chip is. I don't know. Got a little more gray to it, maybe. Then we have black, all black, and this is the charcoal. So fresh. But yeah, let me know. I'd be happy to send you one. That'd be awesome, man. You don't have to send it for free. Yeah, for sure, dude. I'd be happy to. I ain't worried about it. Just if you don't mind, like I said, just send me your address on just email it to me or message me, and then I've been trying to build an online store for a while now for like merch stuff, but I'm not that computer inclined. I don't know. I tried Spotify, and I guess it's super easy, but I just haven't like dedicated a ton of time to building the store. Over the weekend, I was working on Square, but it wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, I'll just go old school. I need to set it up because I'll get people. I got a few to send out this week already. But I've had some emails over the last couple weeks. Hey, your merch store's down. Hey, your merch store's down. I'm like, I know, I just don't have any t-shirts yet. So I was kind of waiting to get like everything put together, but I just decided to bring in the small run of these, and we'll use that and just kind of bring in some more shirts, and because that logo is new for us. So the OG logo, I haven't had any shirts with the new logo put on it yet. So, and a company I use locally. See, now I was looking at like drop shipping, and I don't know, because what I've ran into the past is like keeping a huge inventory in, right, and like just worried about keeping inventory on. So if I can minimize that, and it'll be good. But yeah, Matthew, just send me your stuff, and Country Style Carver, send me your stuff too, bro. I'll get you some hats and some stickers, and we'll get them out your way. What time is it? 5 o'clock. Alexa, what's the weather tomorrow?
Tomorrow will be sunny and cold with a high of 38 and a low of 23 degrees. No rain or snow expected.
38. What's the weather right now?
It's a sunny 41 degrees right now. Today's high is 41 with a low of 19.
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, let's go. Let's go set up. Yeah, there we go. It's 18 here right now with 30-mile-an-hour wind. Oh, dude. The wind's been ripping us today. But it ain't no 18, bro. 41 feels good to me. Yeah, let's get this ready. I got one of the old cabinets that I got. There's our bear shine. Feels like -9. No way, dude. You keep that up there, bro. All right, let me. Yeah, it's a blizzard here. No way. Yeah, I ain't messing with all that. They are calling for snow this weekend, but we had snow last weekend. But it barely flurried. This is some of the foam carvings. So this is like one of my test pieces. And this is out of that EPS foam. And then that you can see the hard coat on the bottom. So we need to clean up in here. When I first built this place, this is the second shop I built here, but when I first put it together, it was by myself. And so like I had the gallery area. This was my shop, dude. This is huge because I started out in a tent, a little pop-up tent with nothing. A grinder, a chainsaw, and a broken Dremel. We built the shop, had to tear it down. It's a long story. We put this up. I was like, man, this is amazing. And so, but then I had other carvers coming in and out, and kind of turned into like a storage thing for a while. I built those last winter just to give it some more space. And I'm grateful for it. But these foam carvings, this is where kind of been doing them again, so it's like brought life back into the old shop for me, and it's cool. This next tree is 18 feet tall, so I think from those back shelves, this is 24 feet, but them shelves are 2 feet. So this one tree is going to be every bit of this whole length here. So I'll have to clean it out. Pumpkin is sick, dude. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that was the first one with the EPS foam or the spray. And this was just like messing around one night. Because with the foam, like you lose a lot of detail with the hard coat. And so one of the bears I actually did. Honestly, like the rough out part of it. And this is like my first attempt. I'm grabbing it right now. The rough out of it like came out probably one of the better bears I'd ever made. I had all this detail and stuff into it, and like, you know, part of the foam you can use fiberglass. So I did fiberglass on this one, but I lost everything. You know what I mean? Like, it lost all the detail. I mean, even like in the nose, I had fat rolls in here. Proportion wise, it was just a cool piece. So it frustrated me, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. And so now we just use that for somewhat of a display. That turned out good. Appreciate that, dude. They don't all. Like, been very blessed recently. And even that bear, that on-site that I did, like I carved like 8 pieces the day before, just quick carves, just to like kind of get back in the swing of things, kind of loosen up, because I haven't carved like that in a while. And So yeah. Let's see. I have a cobalt cabinet I'm going to put right here. And I'm going to put all the foam carving tools in it. I had a big tent out back that got destroyed by a microburst. Kind of like a tornado. I mean, it flung that generator 15 feet in the air. I still have a piece of the tent on the roof up here. So I was like, oh, we gotta change. Tried a quick car feather at the event I did on the weekend. Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. And when the fire pit. Well, oh, dude, yeah, I've done that too, bro. Did you have a good time there at least? It's different. Like, it's a different vibe, obviously, when you're not, like, I'm so comfortable right here in my shop. Like, I know where the tools are, I know where everything is. And I get nervous, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just different vibe. So I think I'm just gonna drag this out. This was a bark tester. This is my welding table. I was caught up on everything. Actually, this is some of that hard coat for the phone. Comes in these tubes like this. Very expensive and doesn't go far, but it works real well. All right. So this. And that cabinet should fit right in here. He took his first place back. Ouch. Made some contact and a few sales. It was good. I love that, dude. First place back. What is that? Did I miss something there? Two, no. Hold on. I don't want to brag to you guys, but it says 41, but it's a cold 41. And the temperature is dropping. I think the low is 18 tonight, so maybe 20. But the problem is, like, we just had 70-degree days. And so get used to the 70-degree days. Yesterday I washed my truck. The high was 31. But it was sunny out and it's like so nice. Like, I wanted to be outside, so I washed the truck. That was a mistake, dude. I don't recommend washing the truck at 31 degrees. I could feel my hands for like 3 hours. That's decent enough. Kinda. There's things that show. Keep it going out to the chat. It was in first. No, it was in third. Then I went to first time. See, I don't even know that stuff, dude. That's cool. All right. Let's move you guys around a little bit. Let's do that. Because I got hot knives and all kinds of stuff to put in here. Are you warm, Dusty? Are you warm, brother? You're fine, dude. You're fine. Here. Come here, dude. Come here. I know. There you go. I get you a warm bed. You don't want to be in it. All right. I guess we'll just start getting this stuff put together. I'm battered yet. What was my first ever carving? Man. My very first ever carving was a whale's tail. And I don't know where it came from, why I wanted to do it. I was 15, maybe 16 years old. And it sucked. I got so mad. I was like, oh, that should be pretty simple. Side note, here's my favorite tool. It's a horse comb for the foam. Man, I worked on that thing. It was just a tail, right? So, literally just a tail. And I wanted to turn. I was like, oh, I can see it. I'm going to do it. I ruined that thing. That went in the fire pit. Quickly. But when I started, I call him my uncle. He's still a carver, actually. And I was blessed enough to work under him for a long time. And I did detailing for him for years and years and years and years. And then I would pick up the chainsaw when I wasn't doing orders or whatever and practice on it. And my chainsaw skills were terrible. But I knew I could compensate with the grinder in the beginning. And that helped me a lot. Hanging right here. Perfect. First ever carving was with a bottle of Bud Light. Made it with a sheetrock knife when I was like 10 years old. Like out of wood? That's unique. It was definitely unique. That's a very polite word for it. It was definitely unique. This needs to go in my office. That needs to go in the office. I'll show you some of these hot knives. Essentially the same thing. But these are the hot knives. Carved out a 2x4. Man, you worked hard on that, didn't you? That's cool, dude. My probably first, I'd say like completed carving was a wood spirit face. And it's probably, I don't know, 6 inches tall with a big hat and beard and all that. I gave it to my grandmother so she could have it. But we do a lot of bears here. So, for a while there, I was like kind of carving a little bit of everything, right? Bears, dogs, owls, this, that. And honestly, over the last year, maybe 2, and it might have just been with orders, just really started hyper focusing on the bears and studying them a little bit more. Trying to hone that down a lot more. So this is the other hot wire kit from Foam Cutters. And I will say, like, this thing, again, nothing, I guess, with foam is cheap per se. But this was definitely not cheap. But I will tell you, it holds heat and keeps the heat. That wire that's on there right now is 8 foot. We stretched it out 8 foot, and I think it was at like 70% power. Cut all the way through it, so it was cool. My first carving ever. I just dug out of the snow. Broke. It's wooden axe stuck in a block of wood. And it's carved off. Oh yeah, that's cool. The handle broke, so I brought it in so I could try to repair it. Stogie time. Yeah. I made one of those one time. Actually, when it's on my door over there, I made an axe like 5 years ago for like a Halloween costume when I celebrated that stuff. That's probably longer than that. But I had to seal the brackets for this barn door for my wedding. I haven't put them back on yet, but that was one I made a while back. My dad has the very first bear I ever carved still. I've posted it a couple times because it pops up every now and then. And I tell the story all the time because I'll never forget it. When I gave it to him, he was immediately like, "That's cool, man. You should give me the second one," because it was pretty rough, dude. So pretty rough, but it's cool to see. Nichrome wire. Yep, exactly right. It's hyper super cool. Thanks, dude. Is it Nichrome? Yeah. 24 gauge. I ended up buying a bunch of them. Oh, that's 20 gauge. Oh, good. That's a little thicker. The one I've been using. This 24 gauge is a little too thin. Because with that that dual handle thing, I'll tell you, dude, like you barely turn it too hot, fries it. Done. All right, where's the other phone stuff? This I need to throw in the CNC room. The other stuff. Oh yeah. Electric chainsaws in here. Hot knives, rasps, bow cutters. All that's good. I think that's it. Other than taking these out. That was a lot less than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I put that off for that long. Yeah, I think that's it. Man, I thought I had more tools than that. God, those are gross. This is for a project coming up. As soon as I get to it. This guy's got these beams in the front of his porch. We're doing railing bear, a hanging bear. And he's got a super cool carport that we're doing a woodpecker, a bobcat, and a raccoon. But he gave me that piece to kind of test fit it. He's gonna have both arms hanging over on the mama bear, kind of like this. And the other bear's gonna have like it's just his front paws hanging on. So that'll be cool. Man, I thought I had more tools than that for the foam stuff, but I guess I don't. I got my glue in there. I guess that's it. All right. That was super easy. I used to play Call of Duty all the time. I uploaded a few multicore videos that I got found on Instagram. Yeah. Dude, you know what sucks about the copyright stuff? Man, YouTube's stupid. And I don't know. I guess you gotta play the game to play the game. It's retarded though. Like it's just like why like the shop here at the gallery, like I always got music. I got a playlist made for it, and we got like all this stuff going on. And if it hears like a little something in the background, it'll freak out. One of my videos on the editor that I have, I used AI to make the music. It was AI music, and YouTube copy not well. They copywritten it. I was like, this is a made up song. What are you talking about? Um, when I installed that tree, like they have music playing. Like you would think, maybe this is me, but like I work with music, so if there's a way that I could have music blasting in here, dude, I'd be getting stuff done. That was the other thing, like on my old carving videos, I'm like, I like to listen to music. I can't listen to music on my phone while I'm recording because I'm recording. But I've had so many copyright strikes. I've posted things about Jesus, copywritten strike. One I did years ago. It was like my morning routine. It was like opening up the shop, started a little fire. I was reading the Bible, going through my paperwork, and they said it was offensive. I was like, good. And so for a little while there, and I have no proof behind any of this, but I definitely feel like I was getting like shadow banned or whatever they call it, because there was such a dip in like engagement. And it was shortly after I started being a little bolder in my faith, and so I was like, cool, let's go even harder. So I was just like, awesome. It ain't for anybody else anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's all for God. So yeah, YouTube and their copyright stuff is so silly, and be so frustrating. Do you sketch at all? Yeah, I thought about Matthew. I'll get to your question here in a second. I thought about Rumble a while ago, like when it was first coming out, but then I just got away from doing any kind of videos completely. So, again, this is all like kind of getting fresh back into it, and all I'm doing, dude, is like just going live while I'm working anyway. And then because before I would record videos, and it would take me 2-3 times as longer to do a piece. So with live, I can just go do what I normally do anyway, and it's been working out really good for me. So I've just been doing that. But I thought about Rumble, like I said, I just started getting back on. Like we just broke 2,000 subscribers. Like I was at like 1.7 for years, and everything's growing too. I gotta keep grounded. You know what I mean? Not get distracted, because there's been like some silly comments. I mean, obviously, just even on here, I'm like, people, you get all kinds of people. So I just kind of don't pay them any mind, or you'd be surprised. Like, I don't know, people are funny, dude. Sketches, yeah. So I've been using my tablet. I used to do it all on paper, pencil and paper, and actually, let's go back in the office here. I feel like we're good. Good in here. Legit. That's twice today. Well, I was gonna build these things. I figured it was a kit that I put together, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be a cool video." I already put together. I was like, "Well, I need to move this. I gotta move all my tools in there." Apparently, I don't have a lot of foam carving tools as I thought. So we're done here. Let's go back where it's warm at least. And then I'll move. I guess let's go take a tour real quick. I'll show you these blocks. I'm gonna take it off this little stand. Works with some platform. Yeah, and you would think for the artists, like, it'd give them more recognition. Matthew, I'll show you some sketches here in a second. Yeah, I'll go. I appreciate it. I'll be honest with you too. Like, man, I was so hyper focused on that back then too. These are the blocks. So we are in the process of wintertime cleanup. It's kind of a mess out here. Look at that though. So we bought a semi-trailer load of them. There's a lot. Man, there's a lot of them. It's probably double what I needed. So, cool thing is, they don't go bad. Bad thing is, I do need to get them covered because when I do carve them, I gotta let them sit. So let the moisture kind of evaporate out of them. They're 4x8 by 3 foot thick. I don't even know. Let's see. Oh yeah. See, it's kind of deteriorating. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, definitely gotta get these. Gotta get this covered. This is the truck I was thinking about using for that scene. I'll show you here in a second. If not, the old International, but I'd rather use this, but I got it running not too long ago. And I just gotta put a bed on it. And then let's go get warm. You know, this freezing 40-degree weather here. Gotta finish the siding on these things. I like this for a while now. Good job, Dusty. Chubby, you want to say hi? Huh? I don't know. Get in. Was the foam expensive? Oh, man. Why will you not stay? Was the foam expensive? Yeah, no. I used a 2-pound density on that, so I didn't go super dense on it, and so I think it was 58 sheets that we bought, or 52 blocks. So with that order, they gave us a discount too, but I'd say they average. Like I got a local price here. I want to say it was like $4.50 a piece. You all right, dude? It might have been a little more. Actually, I think it was quoted at like $6, and they were going to do $4.50 a piece. And then I found this company out of Maryland, so they're a little bit better. I'll work with those. Foam buffs, if you want to keep them covered, I will turn yellow from the sun. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. It's all getting chalky. I am a Gorilla Glue 52 blocks. That's what it was. Yeah, you know. And you remember that man, what we got going on here? We were gonna do that treehouse a while back, and you were telling me about all that work you were doing with the foam and the hot knives and all that stuff. I wish they would have let us do that. You all right, dude? Huh? You okay? You got a little cough? Hmm? You got a little cough? Yeah. Anyway. I don't even use, like, I'm talking about like OG Gorilla Glue. In my opinion, is the best thing. Now I got gallons of Type Bond and Type Bond too. But this stuff for carbon, ain't nothing better, dude. That better to sit out by the lake. Yeah, I gotta put all those things on. I gotta put all those blocks on pallets and tarp them up. I better did out on the lake, that arm that I added onto it. I just used Gorilla Glue, some screws, and I think so strong. Oh, let me show you some sketches, Matthew. So I'm not a great drawer either, and I'll use this program that I found. It's called Ibis Paint X. So like on these commercial jobs, like see if I can do this. I'll use it for laying out the concepts and all that stuff. This is one. Now I'll trace and do whatever I need to kind of make it work. This is a project. Hopefully we'll be able to get to do. It's Archangel Gabriel, and it's for a hotel in New York. Actually, I think it's called the Angel Inn. Actually, and there's a whole story behind it. It's changed a couple different names. Maybe it's the old Angel Inn now. Anyway, but that's gonna be hanging like in their foyer, like 30 feet up in the air. But I was talking back and forth with them. I quoted it real high. Because I just told him it's been the piece deserves to be what talk about or just talking, dude. That's why I used Type Bond sawdust for filler on my last one. Turned out great. Yeah, it's a good little trick. Like filling in cracks, is that what you're talking about, or just like gluing stuff together? What's this place? Is that New York? Oh no, it's United Kingdom. That's not there. And I'll go back to you, Matthew, real quick. Like the sketching, I think it's an underutilized thing. I definitely underutilize it. I do a little bit more now than I used to. It's more intimate, if that makes any sense. So you can kind of like test some stuff and see how things are going to flow. And there's a few things. So what's cool about this, I can actually take a picture of where the pieces are going to go. This is for a local resort. So they can see the background, different concepts. And just give them an idea. this is just one particular resort. About what I've done, and I'll show you. What's cool about this is like I'll do my sketches. These are just some different concepts, and I can take these and apply it to like another scene or whatever. And so, like I'll use these. I gotta go through and finish all these. This is like a little fishing scene. Like that one, like the truck. Like I'll just trace the truck out, but let's see what else. So, and then I also have like I still like old school stuff. That box gets weird. Oh, you know this as well. Oh man. Yeah. There's a lot I can't do, bro. I mean, you're talking years of stuff. I'm like, this is these are old. I don't know if it's really gonna show. Let me see if I can switch this around. These are just old concepts. I don't even know what's in here, to be honest with you. So instead of doing it on paper, I do it on that program now. And it just makes it a lot easier for the customer to visualize it. Like I said, I can actually use the background picture. I have a tree I went and looked at over the weekend from a guy. What one was this? Oh, I didn't even date it. It's gotta be like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Concepts for that was the OG sketch for the building. I haven't even been through this in a while. Another variation of Eagle's nest. Let's see next to a hot tub. That was the original Bear Shine logo concept. That's what I started with the mountain coaster, but the city wouldn't let me have signage on the front of the trees, which was disappointing. This is one of the steels. But I'm actually going to use that for that area I was talking about earlier. That was one for local hemp store. That was a horse I did. I guess this one's got some newer stuff in it. I'm interested to see what's in here myself. This was for a wedding venue I did. This was a cool piece. It's on YouTube, but these are two different concepts. It's like a wider spiral and like a closed knit spiral. These pieces actually went to Italy. She had a house here, so this tree came from her property, and so did these. But she had a house in New Orleans and had like these sewer water covers. So what we did is we cut them and inlaid them on the top of these for end tables. And this was another bear on her from a tree she had cut down and shipped them out to Italy. This one was creepy. So this was 2022. The guy that owned the cabin was a dentist, so I gave it like human teeth. So these were for a community out on the lake, and so these were 6x6 posts. All these were cut out of metal, the 1/8-inch metal plate underneath, and then the caps I made from scratch. There were 17 pieces of metal that I cut out of those things. Welded them together. This is for wedding venue. Signs. Wedding venue. This was for a local business here. What was this, 2022? So I actually checked on this the other day. Man, it looked like somebody backed their truck into it because it was all rotted and cracked out. And I want to get over there and touch it up for them. This was another project. This was a big fence job. This was a nightmare job, that one was. That sucked. More concepts. More concepts. So everything I used to do was done by hand. Back in the day. This went to Branson, Missouri. And I delivered this to Branson, Missouri because I didn't realize how far it was from here. So, another sign. This is all custom made metal. What else is in here? Probably not much. But what I was running into, like this job, I remember this one. So it's the cabin I went and looked at. I drew all this stuff up, broke everything down, gave him a quote, and they ghosted. No, nothing. So I'm like, all right. I kind of switch how I do things now because of that. If it's a big enough project, I'll do a quote. Like for the commercial stuff, you have to have it. And with that, like part of the proposals, like we'll print out the proposals, kind of explain the process. I mean, you're talking big projects, so you want it to look professional. Have a breakdown of everything because like you're not the commercial side versus the residential side, two totally different animals. The residential side is awesome. It's more personal to people. It means more to them. They appreciate the art. At the same time, it's not always budget friendly for them. Where the commercial side, a little more freedom on the budgets, a lot more involved. But there's no emotion tied to it. They just want to know how much it's going to cost, when can you get it done. It's more black and white, which is cool. The real deal. Take work very seriously. Laser stuff and all kinds of woodworking stuff. Man, that's just over years and years and years. Taking on projects, what I would do was take on projects to buy tools. So a lot of that stuff I would like break even because like that wedding venue job, dude, it was a nightmare, bro. I built I said I with help. It was a 60-foot fence with multi-layered panels, two big benches, a bar top, another 30-foot section with sliding barn doors and gates and all this stuff. Like 3 days, dude. It was the middle of July. It was brutal, and it wasn't fun. And I undercharged. Oh, and then on top of that, we did like the rooms, and I have pictures of all this stuff, but I did a custom table, dude, with like um, angle iron edges, custom benches, cool chandelier, like, just cool stuff. But use that just to pay for the tools. Pretty much what happens. Uh, eh, dude, pride is probably used to be more proud. It's more grateful now. You know what I mean? Because pride, that's something I battle with for a little while there. Like, I feel fortunate that God trusts me. You know what I mean? And I've made a lot of mistakes, bro. Like a lot of mistakes, and still do. So a lot of it's just hard lessons learned. Do I get 50% deposit? It depends. Um, like for the mountain coaster, I did 60%. Because I had to buy all that material. Um, and I really had to buy a lot of new equipment. I had to buy a new compressor because mine wasn't big enough. All the tools to go with it, the blocks, the hard coat, the glues, equipment, all kinds of stuff. So I did 60% on that. I usually do 50%, but oftentimes I'll do like 25%. It just depends. It really just depends. 25 to 50%. And the 25% I'll get you on the schedule. Yeah, I don't like to do more than 50 because, and I hate when people pay up front completely because it's gonna sound weird and like, because this 50%, like you're still getting paid at the end of it, so like it's cool. But when people pay up front 100%, you just, I don't know, it changes things, but yeah, I definitely get a deposit. I used to not, well, I say used to. A few times early on, I didn't get deposits, and I would be up all night because, what we deal with a lot here too is people in town for a day, a couple days, or we're leaving tomorrow. And before, I would take them all on. Like, yeah, we'll get it done, and I'd be up super late, and then they'd never show, or I'd move some stuff around and get it done, and whatever. So I always get a deposit, and if they're serious about it, they don't care. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like the one job, you know, some of the local people, like especially the old. I mean, most of my clientele is older people. They're obviously they're pretty trustworthy, and so like a couple weeks ago, a guy came in and put a deposit on those bears, woodpecker, all that stuff. And I was like, just give me a $500 deposit. And he was like, let me give you $1,500. And I'll just pay the rest when I get some. I was like, that's fine. As long as there's something. And I honestly, like from him, I didn't even need a deposit because I know he's coming back. So, but I always do a deposit because I've been bitten so many times. In countries, I've never used to do a deposit until I go sort of my wife my money, and then I started doing 50% for sure. Same older people, I have trust. We have no issue doing a deposit. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do a job, you know, there's no reason why they wouldn't give a deposit. Now, what I've ran into before, especially people out of town, and I'll get messages and stuff like it was last year. This guy in New Jersey, they're building a cabin down here. Never met him in person, but he was like weary of giving me a deposit, and I was like, "Well, I ain't doing the job until you give me a deposit." You know what I mean? And he's like, well, he had gotten burned in the past. And I just told him flat out, I was like, man, I've been in business at that time 7 years, 6 years, whatever it said. So, man, I put my head down safely at night, like I'm not here to rip people off. And you can check my business on Facebook, all that stuff, whatever, you know what I mean? So he was a little reluctant, but in the end, he did it, and I'm super happy. So that's the only issue I kind of ran into with deposits. Yeah, same thing, dude. Um, and again, most of my clientele's older clientele or commercial, and I've been really trying to get on the commercial side of stuff for a while. So I got to get this mountain coaster job done. It's been dragging on way, 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 way too long. But I had orders, like just trying to manage everything. So they've been very patient with me and considering me for projects. And so got lucky to work with some really cool people. And I told them flat out, I said, this project was a little bigger than I anticipated. And at the time, I had some other guys working with me. And, things happen, people leave and do this. And so I've just been chasing all last year. And I told her, I said, there's some learning curves, but now I got it figured out. Now I understand. And the other projects just go. By the way, you have a 100% 5-star rating. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I don't ever ask anybody to do reviews or anything. I'm not saying 100% of people are always happy. Unfortunately, I had one kind of recently that still bothers me because the guy was unreasonable and was upset with me because, um, his piece took an extra day or two to get done. I told him I was going to be there, and he's an old school dude. And I mean, we went at it for a minute. Pretty much, he yelled at me and told me to F off and all this other stuff. And they will do whatever you want to. That's fine. But the piece wouldn't have been right. And so I made a decision in the very last minute to do the right thing. And regardless, he'll never see that or understand that. And in the big picture of things, it wasn't even a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a big deal. But the big deal was I was going to be there at this day at 10 o'clock. I called him at 9 o'clock and said, and I was up all night finishing this piece, dude. Like, it was a screen door. I started the bottom seam, carving. Dude, I slept an hour that night, was painting, polying, trying to get it dry. And it just wasn't, it needed one more coat of poly on it, is all it was. And, because some of the knots had soaked it in a little bit more. And I told him flat out, I said, man, I ain't going to be there at 10. And he cussed me. And I said, man, you can be mad. I understand, So, but at the same time, like, it's not right, and I'm not going to install it if it's not right. So, yeah. But I wish it would have been, because regardless, like, he's going to hate the piece. And we had some back and forth a couple times. Like, he would text us. I don't know. I assume he was drinking. It's just a customer I'd never take on again. So we've had a few interesting ones along the way. Anyway, he's in the past. I know, and I don't dwell, but I felt like I handled the situation, and I felt like I made the right decision. Constantly evaluating, just making sure. So yeah, and I hate it too because that door I made, dude, I milled out from a tree. Everything, like, I handmade brackets and it was cool. It looked really clean, really simple, and a lot of times simple is more, with woodworking. So that door job. I think it was on here when you're working on it at midnight. Yeah, dude. That dude was so mad at me. So mad at me. I was like, dude, it's the right thing to do for the peace, dude. Like, So I don't feel bad because it wasn't a lack of just me being lazy by any means. Um, I just wish it wasn't have like that asterisk next to it because, uh, well, I mean, we'll never do anything for him again. And you just have those people. So, yeah, that guy got me. But when you're carving, like you'll just have these thoughts that come through, and sometimes it'll come in and out. Hold on, my wife. This texture. Sorry. One second. Good things take time, yeah. You should be more patient, understanding. Yeah, I guess I'm fired up. I've had like 5 customers. I can tell you 5 in particular that have just, whew, what are you gonna do? It was definitely a test. It was definitely a test. The empire you created, dude. It ain't mine, brother. I'm gonna tell you every time. It's all because of God, dude. And I'll tell you experiences that I made it about me, and you know what happened? Everything stopped. I almost lost the business. I can tell you last year, man. You want to hear some tests, dude? Last year was some tests, big ones, very hard times on different things. But I don't even like to talk about it because the glory that came from it, bro, was beyond anything I could ever understand in the moment. And so, um, yeah, it was amazing. It really sucked during it. you know, I'll share something with you. This was even from a month ago. Um, Dude, just going through stuff like every person does, and getting tested and going through battles. And um, I was praying. It was like the first real prayer that I had in a while. Other than, "Hey, Lord, thanks for today. Thank you for this." And that, blah, blah. This was like seeking Him again because I got caught up in the busyness. I'm going through. I was like, Lord, I know you didn't bring me this far to bring me this far, but if you did, I'm for it. Uh, Whatever you want me to do, like, because I was contemplating closing down the retail store and just focus on commercial. And, I got destroyed by taxes and all these things that were happening. But I was asking God, I was like, man, and this is going on for a while. And at the end of it, I was like, why are we here right now? And I wrote it on my board. That's what I'm looking at. And he all he said was, "You left me out." And so I said, "Yes, sir, I did. I sure did." Got caught up in the busyness of the business and all this other crap that doesn't matter, and quit giving it to him and doing all for him. Well, so since then, it's been amazing. So God gets my attention, bro. Like it's you're seeing, you know, the outside, I guess, which is great, dude. Like I feel very fortunate, very blessed, and I want other things to grow, and we have plans softly. Man, it all revolves around him. It's all him. Because as soon as I start making it about me, bro, as soon as I do, as soon as I start worrying about this or worrying about that, or doing this or doing that, um, focusing on views or whatever that crap is, that doesn't matter. Like as soon as I start getting consumed by that, um, he stops everything for me. So I think as men, sometimes we got to learn a lesson the hard way. Yeah, dude. And I am stubborn, bro. You know my family. We are all the same. Um, so I think fortunately now, as I've grown in faith more, uh, up random things. Um, the benefit to it of the situations that I can recognize a little bit quicker. And I'm not saying instantly by any means, but I can recognize things. I just came in. Anyone tell me what you're talking about? Dude, we're talking about everything. We're talking about carving. We're talking about art. We're talking about life. We're talking about God. Talking about you if you want to. We're just hanging out. I had a whole thing earlier that I was going to do, but now I've been talking for 3 hours, so, which I'm good at. I'm good at talking. So if you got any questions, I'm a professional chainsaw carver in Tennessee, and just talk about a little bit about everything. So you're more than welcome to hang out, not hang out, whatever you want to do, bro. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, definitely gotta learn the hard way. And I got some verses I wrote down, or like I'll hear things and write them down. And I'll tell you what's been on my mind the last like 2 weeks. I heard it in 2 Corinthians 3-5, chapter 10, 3-5. And this has been a big one for me. And I'm actually talking to my wife about it, because she's having a little season right now. And I keep telling her. Yeah, I actually posted on Facebook this morning. This is Paul talking about his ministry, but 10:3, for though we walk in flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have the divine power to destroy strongholds. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ, being ready to punish every disobedience when your obedience is complete. So the biggest thing there was and take every thought captive to obey Christ. So like all those weird, crazy things that come through, it's like man, I've been watching guys fired up about it. It's gonna get me fired up. But taking those thoughts, because dude, there's some crazy stuff that comes to my mind, and I'll rebuke it and all this stuff, and it's not of me. Um, but that's one I've been really sitting on for the last couple weeks. And so I had this little study Bible here. Um, and then we'll study underneath is the weapon of Paul's warfare are not physical but spiritual, such as prayer, the word of God, faith, and the power of the Holy Spirit. By the Spirit, Paul tears down the strongholds of wrong thinking behavior in lives of those who resist his authority. So I had a situation a few weeks ago where like the authority of the Holy Spirit came through, and I can't even explain it. Crazy. Amazing. But we all have that. We all have that power. What's the largest job I've done? I'm actually in the middle of it now. Well, not right this second, but I'll be back on it tomorrow. It is for a local mountain coaster. It's called Moonshine Mountain Coaster. So it's a slew of some carvings. The trickiest of them is being the poles that hold the coaster up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that we're wrapping to make look like trees. And the smallest of them is 8 foot. The one I'm working on tomorrow is 18 foot, then 20 foot, and on from there. Plus bears, plus lighting, plus raccoons, plus a moonshine display. It's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, is where I'm based out of. Or Sevierville is where I'm out of, but right next to Gatlinburg. Can show you some of the concepts. So this is like the entryway. So behind these trees are the poles that hold it, and these are the 3 poles that I'm working on. So these were just some of the concepts. Now we did solidify a handful of them. And that goes that well. And I still got to do some more. So, but the trees are the hardest part because they're tall, and getting them secure, we had to go through city planners and engineers and all this other stuff. So big job, fun job. We're almost done. If you look at our what? I don't know what that means. Look at the Facebook page. There's a bunch of pictures on there of different things, but that is the single largest job that we've done in a long time, actually ever. So there's a lot of prep and planning before that. So, but what have I been on here? I've been talking for over 3 hours now. I think I'm gonna make some dinner. Get out of those hats, dude. No. I'm gonna make some dinner. I got to respond to some social media stuff. I'm working on editing a video, and I don't even know what time it is now. 6:30. The other night I fell asleep at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My wife was like, "I didn't even make dinner." I was like, "I don't blame you." Which is a little disappointing because I was really, when I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I only sleep like 5 hours, I was really looking forward to that potato soup. So, yeah. But I guess I'm gonna hop off here. Tomorrow I will be live doing some carving finally. I will be doing some foam stuff, some gluing stuff, and finishing up some signs. I got to ship out some stuff, so we got a decent little day. Today was a paperwork day. Mondays typically are for me. Get ready for the week, and yeah, I'm ready to get back on the chainsaw. So, Matthew, good talking to you. Don't forget to email me that, dude, if you don't mind, in what color that you like, and I'll get that over to you, bro. And I'd be honored to do so. So, thank you guys for joining me on this journey of changing the world one piece at a time. Even if you just stopped in, made weird comments, or just here for a second, I appreciate it. We're back on YouTube doing some things, showing you guys a little bit more in depth behind the scenes of my life as a professional chainsaw carver, artist, fabricator, everything. So I'm happy to share it with you guys. But I love y'all wholeheartedly. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. You can email me at Fatbobs Wood Co.
Check out our Facebook page, Fatbobs Wood Co. All the links are on the YouTube channel. If you have any custom orders, check out our other work, or if you need prayer requests. Love y'all. God bless. See you guys tomorrow.